Hello, everyone. My name is Oliver Bass, otherwise known as Bass from the Past. This is Pyro J, and welcome to the esports.net recap show. This show recapping key moments and key events from around the world of esports over the last week. And well, Pyro, we're kicking it off with none other than IEM Cologne.
I feel like you have to kick it off with this because it just ended a week ago, July 17th, and we were graced with really some of the best Counter-Strike that I think this world has been craving for, and a spicy grand final at that. FaZe Clan defeating Na'Vi 3-2. Na'Vi being the only team that gave FaZe Clan any losses throughout the event, so very interesting to see that. FaZe Clan sweeping teams like Double O Nation, Team Secret, Astralis, the list goes on. Bass, outside of the championship, outside of that final, I mean, did you have a team this event you were really keyed into?
Yeah, I had to pay attention to Movie Star Riders. They are a full Spanish team that not only had to get through groups in order to make it to the final stage, they also had to go through play-ins. They were not invited. It was based off of global rankings. And the crazy thing is that this is by far their biggest win yet. They took a win at DreamHack Valencia in front of a home crowd. They had a third-place finish on the Global Esports Tour in Dubai. But like I said, this is by far their biggest win, taking down competition like G2, like Vitality, like Liquid, top 10 teams within those rankings, made them now what would be the best Spanish team on the planet, almost undoubtedly. They were led by their top fragger in Sun Pius, who was the second highest rated CT player for the entire event at 1.6. They are definitely on the upswing here. They have been looking good, and like I said, best team in Spain for sure. But there's a couple other teams to highlight here as well, huh, Pyro?
I guess you could say that. I mean, hey, I can see why that Spanish team catches your eye. That's a monumental performance. But you want to talk monumental? My eyes are on Astralis. Honestly, bit of a disappointing series of events over the past couple of months, but getting a top 4 finish for this team, I think, is huge. And I want to look really at one of their star players, Blame F. I admire this man's dedication. I was watching some interviews that he was involved in, and his dedication's unreal. When he's not on the stage for the official matches, he's getting thousands of kills in the death matches. He's watching over the VODs. He's so committed to making his team actually go the long distance. Notably, Blame F had the highest damage differential out of anyone, and recording a kill in upwards of 54% of the rounds, only second to that of the event MVP, Simple. Just incredible performances from this unit as a whole, as well from Astralis. I think they got longer to go.
I would think so as well. Astralis is going to walk away with a huge chunk of change in their pocket. And just to break down the entirety of the event, first place, FaZe Clan, like we said, not only takes home $400,000, but in addition to that, they also automatically punch their ticket to IEM Katowice in 2023. In addition to that, Na'Vi walks home with $180,000. And then for third and fourth place, the two teams you and I just mentioned, Movie Star and Astralis, take home $80,000. Fifth and sixth, though, they're still walking away with a decent amount of money as well. Mouse and Team Liquid round out our top 6 with $40,000 to each of those two teams. A very impressive performance here, Pyro, but it's not the only event we've got to take a look at here. In addition to that, we've got to look at the last Call of Duty major that just happened, major number 4, all the way in New York. You want to tell us a little bit about what went down there?
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's esports.net, okay? We can't just focus on one. We got to focus on it all, okay? This is the last major before the championship of 2022, so a lot of stakes involved here. Of course, the LA Thieves come home and take the win in the major. 5-3 against the New York Subliners. Interestingly enough, Bass, this was a revenge match. It was the Subliners that kicked out LA Thieves down to the lower bracket in the upper finals, and then they came back and won it. So I thought that was quite the performance, quite the storyline. But talk to me about what caught your eye in this event.
Well, it is that storyline, talking a little bit about the Subliners and exactly how well they did. It's not just the fact that, like you said, they had an undefeated upper bracket run, but in addition to that, it's also the fact that they did well in quals and kind of had to back that up. In qualifications, they were 4-1, taking down the Florida Mutineers, taking down LA Gorillas, taking down Optic Texas and Seattle Surge. Their only loss coming against the LA Thieves. in the actual bracket itself, they did a great job beating Minnesota Roker, beating Florida yet again, and they finally get their rematch against the Thieves and are able to take it the first time through. Unfortunately, like you said, the second time they came through, they were not able to have a repeat performance, but this is big for them after an extremely lackluster result in the Major 3 in Toronto, where they finished in last place, 9th to 12th, without any money in their pocket. This is a massive turnaround. Like you said, going into what has been the final major with the championship right around the corner, this bodes well for this future. It's big for them to show that in front of their home crowd, they can stunt like they desire. Pyro, it was a good game. It was a good event here for the Subliners, but there's a couple other teams to pay attention to, like you were talking about.
Yeah, I want to go back to your point as well about the performances in the most recent majors and how that kind of builds context for this one. You look at a team like Optic, right? They win the first major and then don't do as well in the next two. Expectations are high and they're not quite meeting them, right? Well, this was a team, Optic, that made quite the lower bracket run, winning in 3 matches of the lower bracket to get to the top 4. Of course, falling short of getting any farther than that, but a top 4 performance after not quite getting there in the last 2 majors, I think is really important for Optic. That keeps them in the top 2 of the standings now, so they're really trying to solidify themselves as a front runner in the championship to come, Bass.
Yeah, it makes sense, especially when they are able to walk away with a decent result like this. And, well, if you want to know how everybody finished up, let's round out our top 4 here. Like we said, LA Thieves taking first place with $200,000 in their pocket. Second place, the Subliners are going to take about $120,000 home themselves. Third place, Atlanta FaZe are going to take $80,000. And rounding out that top 4, your boys on Optic Texas with $40,000 in their pocket as well. In addition to that, CDL points were given out. LA takes home 65, New York 50, Atlanta FaZe take home 40, and Optic Texas take home 30, all going towards that championship that we spoke about. But that's all that we've got here for this week. An incredible week that it was indeed, Pyro, and I can't wait to see what happens in the next.
Oh, there's too many good events coming up, okay? So you got to stay keyed in here for the esports.net recap show. So myself, Pyro J, next to me, Bass, and we'll see you on the next one.